Okay, how's that? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? No. Damn it. All right. Oh, you can hear now? Thank you. I bought one of these things and I'm like, whatever, man. I just can't figure stuff. Thank you so much, Candace, for letting me know. I so appreciate you. Too many people will just pop in and go, oh, well, I can't hear anything, and they'll leave, and then I'm like, I didn't know. So I appreciate you. Okie dokie. The most important thing, the sort of most basic thing, the basic truth, is that the weather of our lives, the quality of our lives, is up to us. The events, not necessarily. But the weather, it's like if you want to go to, what's that place called out in Washington State? Well, Washington State, where it rains all the time. You want to go there to get a suntan, you're not going to get a suntan. Right? Not as easily as if you went to like Hawaii. Right? That's just the way that works. And it is the same for us with the emotional and attitudinal weather of our lives. It's the same thing. So we go out into the world expecting bad stuff, and we're going to have some bad stuff and some good stuff. But we're going to mostly have stuff that's not as good as it could be. And we're going to have not as much fun in our lives because we're going to be busy focusing on what's not working and what's awful and stuff like that. And where you focus is what magnifies, you see. This is both physics and metaphysics. This has to do with energy. And it is we are made of energy. We're made of atoms and molecules and things that move, and that's our source code. So if we are busy focusing on expectation of crap, we're going to see a lot of it. So it's not so much like, oh my God, I have to become this vibrational superstar. But what it is that we have to let in some other ideas, some other expectations, make a little doorway. Like, it's possible. Like, I've had all this crap happen, so that's what I'm expecting. I know. And, not but, and there can be some stuff over here. It's possible that I could experience some good stuff too. And what happens is you start building those experiences, and then you are definitely beginning to vibrate at a different place. You are beginning to understand more about your true power in your life, and that you're not a victim. My name is Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project, and I support women leaders in ditching the internalized patriarchal structures so we can make a difference. And I would like to ask you to be so kind as to keep hitting those hearts. I appreciate it very much. And share this out with people, because my message is that all of the things that we've been taught, women and men, about how to heal ourselves has been built on the presupposition that there's something wrong with you. And that's actually a falsehood. That's an entire patriarchal setting from way back, from thousands of years ago. Thousands of years old. Okay? So the patriarchal castle is what I call it. And the patriarchal castle has the rules on the tower wall where you've been installed. You've been installed in your own little tower, and you've been made your own guard without your approval. It's just what was handed to us when we came in, because it's the way the world has run for the last few millennia. It's a human being evolutionary sort of situation. We are now evolving as human beings. We are all of us evolving, all of us. We are having an evolutionary shakeup. So if you want a good excuse as to what, hey, Paragon, if you want a good excuse as to why the world seems so completely bat-spit crazy, that's a really good one. Because evolution means everything that you stabilized, that you anchored yourself in, is going to show you which parts of that aren't where you can plant your feet. And you're going to be like, oh my God, understandably, hello, that is an honest, real reaction to change. What I'm here to help you understand is that there's another place to put your feet, which means that you will be sort of on top of the waves instead of like, right? Instead of this, you'll be doing this. And you can learn how to do that, can't you? You've done it on subways. You've done it on buses where you couldn't find a seat and you couldn't even hold onto a strap and I will get my balance. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about doing, you guys. And we've got this. And I know that we've got this because I did it in a major way 4 years ago and have done it ever since. And the quality of my life, surfing instead of drowning. Exactly, Candace, exactly. And the quality of my life, the weather of my life is completely different. And it doesn't mean that all struggle is over. It means that I dance with struggle now instead of argue with it and get thrown to the ground every day. And that's what I did. That is what I did. For 40 years, I had clinical depression. That's 40 years, I had clinical depression. And at a real crisis point for me where I wasn't sure if I was going to make it and still be here, I grabbed for something that I could try. And it was based in emotion and awareness and stepping outside of what I now call the patriarchal loops. And within 10 minutes, I knew that I had shifted what was happening with me. I was no longer in danger of not being here anymore. 10 minutes. Do you know the magnitude of that? Good God. That's insane. So then I was like, wow, okay. And I kept going and I kept going and I kept going. And I did the keep going thing for 5 days. And at the end of 5 days, because all the time I was doing this thing for 5 days, I was looking for other things in my head that were all about the depression and the anxiety. And I was looking because I wanted to bring the light. I'd learned that bringing a little bit of light into that darkness was the way to go. Trying to push the darkness out, not the way to go. So I was doing that over and over. I was finding that these beliefs were just being dissolved, and like it didn't require effort. It required bringing in a little bit of a better feeling and a better feeling thought and a different attitude, and like small enough that it wasn't like me telling myself that I was now the happiest person on earth, because that would have been a lie. And you will not take in something that's a lie. You won't do it. It's not how you're wired. It's not how your body, your nervous system, and your emotions are wired. It's not the human wiring, sorry. And I dared to go small, which is the feminine and which is much stronger than the masculine, by the way, which the masculine patriarchal people don't like, but it's true. And within 5 days, I had to lift my pen from the paper that I was writing on because I couldn't find another thought that had to do with the depression. I couldn't find one. And I sat there like this for a second, and then I just put the pen down and I went, something's different. And so I sort of felt around inside myself, and I realized that the dark cloud I had been carrying for 40 years was not there any longer at all. Now, if this were like a Hollywood movie, then of course I would have jumped up and shouted, woohoo, and I'm free. No. After 40 years, you get healing and you go, let's see if this lasts. Plus, the practice that I'd been doing for those 5 days was about going small steps. And so I kept going and I kept going and I kept doing my life. And whenever I came up against another blockage, I would take the processes that I had come up with. One's called the 1% solution. Another was wisdom writing that was adapted from something somebody else had given me. And the quality of my life is completely different. Because I came to the source, me. I didn't do it perfectly. I didn't do it consistently every single second, but that's not the point. That whole consistent and perfectionistic thing, that's the patriarchal loop of keeping you and me in failure. If you can be convinced that the only way that you really are successful is ultimate success, you just lost. you just gave into the patriarchal loop. Because when you can see every day ways in which you have created a better moment for yourself, or a better internal temperature for yourself, and then you watch how the nature of your mind starts to change, and you watch how the quality of your life starts to change. You start being kinder to you. You start giving yourself a little bit more oxygen. And then you see external things start to respond to that. Now you're getting what is real self-confidence. Now you're getting the kind of self-confidence that is like, whatever comes, I've got this. And I don't have to beat the crap out of myself to have it. And that is quality of life. And if you don't have quality of life, you are still running by the patriarchal castle rules, which means you will never be happy. I don't care how much frickin' money you make. You will never be happy. Do you think those people in Washington who have all the control right now are happy? These are not happy people. And I'm sorry, but we're here for a little while. So I think it's a frickin' waste of time to do things that I either have to wait another 20 years to be happy about, or do things that don't make me happy. Screw it. I'm done. Getting older helps with that. Because it's like, well, shoot. I don't have another 50 years. So might as well get to it. But you don't have to wait till you're my age to do that. You really don't. And you're living in a time that is evolutionary. So whatever age you are, you're in the right time. You have the wind at your back. If you want to actually live as a complete human being, not just somebody who thinks their lives, but someone who feels and experiences their lives and chooses the kind of weather that you want to be living, this is the time to do it. This is the time to step in. And it's why you showed up. Not just in this TikTok live, but this is why we showed up on the planet at this time. Because this is the time. This is what's happening. They call it Sophia. In the Gnostic traditions, it's called Sophia, which is the divine feminine. And I was watching something this morning about how the, not astrologically, in terms of Gnostics, Sophia, as part of the soul's journey away from the divine, to see how far away from the divine we could get and still remember who we are, which is made of the divine stuff. Sophia left the building. Now, it looked like, and a lot of people call it the fall of the divine feminine. But the way that this particular video was showing this on YouTube was that it's not a fall. It was a planned planting of herself within us, within each one of us, and within the earth herself. Because, and it said, anytime you feel excited about something or you feel like inspired, that is the spark of Sophia calling you back to your wholeness, calling back your divine feminine. And you and I are seeing exactly what is happening when you live millennia without the compassion, without the collective care. We are seeing it live. And you don't have to panic, because there's more of this energy than there is of their, fill in your own swear word. Swear, put your swear here. This energy that we have, the energy of the people who are like, you know what? I'm not going to put up with believing my own nonsense. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to believe that I'm limited. Thank you, Patsy. This is crap. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to put up with I'm not going to believe in my own limitations. Damn it. I'm going to find what the truth is. I'm going to find what the truth is. I'm going to live that stuff, because enough already. And here's the thing. I mean, I can tell you a lot of stuff, and I will. That's why I'm here 6 days a week. And it's why I have the business I do, which is called the Goodbye Good Girl Project. And I have all different kinds of things for you guys. There's nothing that stops us. There's nothing but the stuff that we've been taught to believe. Sorry about the dogs barking. You can probably hear them. I tried to get this thing working, but somebody is going to have to tell me how to do that. This is a very exciting time to be alive. And the fact that I could cure 40 years of clinical depression over 5 days by paying attention to vibrational frequency, emotional vibrations, awareness, physics, metaphysics, confirms the unconfirmed that light is 10,000 times stronger than the dark. Well, I'm all the proof I need. 40 years, 5 days. By paying attention to vibrational frequency, which translates to us through sensing, just like sensing. You can't really tell where, you can even tell which part of your body it may be in for some of us, but you can't really like touch it. And then also your emotions, your feelings. This is how we are making phone calls to ourselves. And we've been trained to ignore the phone call. Your intuition called. It wants to know when you're picking up the phone, right? No, I'm not allowed to. No, that's very girly. That's not important. Kiss my ass. It's the most important thing ever. Your emotions are your phone call between you and the divine, and like it's the whole freaking enchilada. And the fact that we ignore it because we've been taught to do that for millennia is why we have so much freaking mental illness. It's why. It's not you. You are not flawed. You are not fundamentally flawed. Are there things in your life that are screwed up that you want to unscrew? You betcha. Yeah, Sabrina. I mean, who wouldn't? When you're going, who wouldn't struggle with anxiety when you're going through menopause? It's only a huge freaking change in your life. And you know what else we've been told we're not supposed to do is to be emotionally vulnerable. Break that freaking rule. Find people that you can test it with. People you already trust and see. Test it. Don't go, I'm going to open my heart to you, if you've never done it. You need shoulder replacements. I have a friend who's going to be going through that in June. But she said it's a lot easier these days. A lot easier than it used to be. So anyway, no matter what you're going through, I'm going through some physical stuff too, but no matter what we're going through, we can change our experience of it. Oh God, Sabrina, you're so welcome. Thank you for sharing yourself. It means everything to everybody, even if they don't say so. Those dogs offered huge confirmation. No, nothing stops us but the stuff we were taught to believe. It's true. Your limitations aren't even yours. Think about that. Your limitations aren't even yours. What do you mean? All right, let's look at this through a spiritual lens. All right, if I'm supposed to believe that I am made of divine stuff, which I do believe, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. But if I believe that, then why am I limited? Well, let's see. The general thing would be like, well, you have to clean up your act. You have to be worthy of God. You have to, like, there's all these isms and dogmas, right? There's all these different things. But I don't believe that there's a God sitting there going, I will give her the gifts and I'm going to withhold hers. God is pure positive energy, which is what I have experienced when I've been very tuned in, very connected. So I know experientially, which is the only way you're ever going to know frickin' anything for sure. You have to have the experience, and you also have to question whether that experience is something that was a one-time, a horrible thing, or if this is your identity. Because most of the time, it's just a thing. It's not your identity. Your identity is you are limitless possibilities. That is literally what you are made of. So then the question is, well, if I am, how come I'm not living that? There must be something wrong with me. And this is why you're saying that. And this is why it's wrong. The patriarchal castle says you are to blame. You have no power and you are to blame. And so we run out into the world and we go to the workshops and we go to the spiritual workshops and the professional workshops and the personal growth workshops and the therapy, and those are all good. But they don't get us there. Why? Because they're trying to fix you. And it's put you into what I call a patriarchal loop. You can't be fixed. Now go fix yourself. But you can't be fixed. Now go fix yourself. Okay? Nice little loop, right? Why can't I be fixed? Because there's nothing wrong with you. The fix is to bring in the light. The fix is to start looking at what is right with you. The fix is to be supportive of yourself. The fix is to start to figure out how you can maybe give yourself a tiny break. The fix is, how can I be just a smidge kinder to myself? How can I even just go, okay, look, I know I'm miserable to myself. I'm so bad. But, I have it within my own ability to let myself off the hook for like a minute. Literally for a minute. Because you'd be surprised. That minute is going to feel like 17 years to your nervous system, which is used to looking for what's bad. Your nervous system, your brain, your emotions, they're all accustomed through patterning. Not through being flawed. No. Through patterning. Repetition. You've been taught to let me keep looking at the bad thing, because then I can either fix it or I can hold it off. And that's a big problem. Because you are 100% focused on the problem, and you will never find the answer by focusing on the problem only. Won't happen. You need to see the problem, but you cannot solve it as a problem that is you. You have to have some distance, some oxygen between you and it before you can then bring in and make room for the intuition and the inspiration and the emotion and the epiphanies that are going to give you a new way to be different, to be healed. And you don't have to wait 20 years to be healed. You're supposed to be healing every day. You're supposed to be healed. You're supposed to be able to step into a healed state every day. Because healed doesn't mean I've got no problems at all anymore and I don't have to feel anything. That ain't healed. That's another patriarchal castle rule. Thou shalt not be healed. Thou shalt try really hard. But the patriarchy, the patriarchal mindset and the millennia of programming wants you to be a slave, wants you to feel a slave to your life instead of being in sovereignty, being in authority of your life. And there's a part of you that knows that that's garbage, because you, like me, have seen so many people who sort of have this naturally, and they go out into the world and they're like, well, I'm going to be a filmmaker. Screw it. That was Steven Spielberg. Dropped out of school, said, never mind, I love filmmaking, screw it, I'm just going to make it happen. I don't want to gloss over stuff here. So he was young, he had his parents' support. I ain't young, my parents are gone. So the steps that I take with screw it, I'm going to do this, it requires a lot of courage. See forward. Personally, I'm done fixing problems that aren't mine to fix. Do you know how beautiful that is? And do you know how powerful it is? You probably don't. I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. And I'm just like opening to this concept a lot these days. Oh, thank you for the moonwalk. That's cool. As you raise yourself, as you let yourself off the hook, off these hooks, what happens is you naturally start to rise in your energy. You start to rise. You are rewiring your brain. I am not kidding you one bit. You have this body. It doesn't have you. But we don't know that yet, experientially. Like we do, we give the body authority. And I'm looking at this a lot these days because I've got some stuff going on with my body that I'm like, I really don't want to go through the traditional healing stuff. I want to heal me. I want to heal me. I thought she was calling me by the wrong name. I guess not. So I want to understand the truth that I know emotionally, which is that Vibration is my source code. It's your source code. And from that place, we stop trying to fix all of the shit that's going on with us. Oh, I'm scared to ask somebody out. Oh, I'm afraid that insert fear here. From little to big, insert your fear here. That we can actually shift the entire experience that we are having inside ourselves individually, and that in doing so, we are doing a service we don't yet understand, but we can. Greg Braden, the physicist, says it only takes 8-point-something% of the entire world, not the US, the world, 8-point-something%. That's under 10% of the entire world population to awaken. And I think it's awakening to this. And the world will shift overnight. So the more we sit around panicking about what's going on, the more we're serving the stuff we want to go away. Interesting. We do have to pay attention, because there are some things we want to do with our physical beings. We want to go out on the marches, and we want to help other people, and we want. And that's good. I'm not saying don't do anything you used to do. I'm saying you're missing 90% of it. Would you like to add some of it into the cake so it's a little sweeter? We've been living as cakes without any frickin' sugar for millennia. Oh, I'm going to sneak some sugar in here. I'm going to sneak it in the back door. I'm going to sneak it into sex. I'll sneak it into women having babies, because that has to happen, because otherwise we don't have anybody to control from the top here. Right? I mean, the feminine, it keeps getting snuck in. No, the feminine is in the front seat. The feminine is in the front seat. It always has been. If you want to live really as a balanced, healthy human being and culture, you always have the feminine first. Why? Because you cannot do squat unless you've been born first. I'm talking practicalities here. This is not positive thinking. This stuff I'm telling you, it's reflected every frickin' where if you stop looking through the patriarchal lens. It's even reflected in something as completely hijacked as the Bible, which has been put into like garbage, when if you read it through the Gnostic and spiritual and astrological and physics and mathematics and you will understand that it's a how-to manual for being human in your fullness. That's really what it's about. It's allegorical. Everything around us is here to remind us, once we can take off the glasses of the patriarchy and let in the feminine and let it lead. Let the heart lead the mind, which is what happens, by the way, physically anyway. Then we are on a really good trajectory. Then we are building the new earth that we're all saying that we want. We're not lying. We do want it. But we'll never do it by thinking it's going to be some politician that's going to make it happen. It's us. We are already making it happen. The shift that we really need to make is in the understanding and the deliberateness and the focus. Thank you, Be Kind, and love to you too, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. We have the power. It's just not what they have said is power. Power has been mistranslated to us as people being assholes to each other, using each other. The garbage in Washington. That's not power. That's control. That's domination. That is not power. Bullies don't have power. Power is a feminine thing. Power is generative. It makes more stuff. That's power. Think about it. Something that's finite is not power. It's a momentary oppression, control. Come on. Let's get real about it. Let's get real about it. Thank you, Calypso, and thank you for thank you all of you for repost. Please keep reposting, and thank you for the hearts. Let's go. Let's get people in here. This is our chance. This is our chance. This year is a critical year. Let me introduce myself before I go on. I'm Lori. My company is the Goodbye Good Girl Project. I give talks. I do workshops. I have weekly. I have a weekly off the grid guided meditation to bring women leaders out of the patriarchal garbage of running a business the male way and coming into doing everything from here. And it's a nice getaway. It's gorgeous. It's $19 a month, etc. Okay, we meet every week. And I have other things, but that's who I am. Now, Calypso, and I appreciate you back. Hi. Thank you. You can find me at goodbyegoodgirl, and then .com. Yes, you can. And also anywhere you look for me, I'm at Goodbye Good Girl Project. Not Goodbye Girl. No, not Goodbye Girl. Goodbye Girl. No, that's not it. It's Goodbye Good Girl Project. So look up at Goodbye Good Girl Project. You find me. Okay. Now, this year is a really, really, really exciting year. It's also terrifying AF, right? Like, we are going through this. Now, good afternoon, Gigi. How are you, sweetie? This year is it is like the primary, astrologically, I am told, I'm not an astrologer, but it is primarily the evolutionary turning point. Hi, Anna Marie. Mwah. Good to see you. You have the wind at your back, whatever you do in this year and next year and really moving forward. But this is sort of like let's go. You are putting yourself on a different trajectory. Now, how are you supposed to do that? What does that mean? That's where it's important to really talk about, because you'll hear a lot of stuff in the self-improvement space, in the spiritual space, and all of that stuff about, yeah, let's go, we got this. But I am somebody who is both a visionary and a practical person. So for me, anything, I don't care if it's spiritual, religious, social, I don't care what it comes from. I don't care who it comes from, but it's got to make practical sense and it's got to be usable for me. I want you to want the same thing. I want you to be uncompromising in demanding of your life itself, of your consciousness, of your awareness, of the people around you, that it be useful for you. Because how many freaking decades have you wished, prayed, thank you so much for that, positive thinking, like you've tried all the things, right? You've tried all the things. And the only thing you've ever been able to fall back on is blaming yourself. Is that satisfactory? Hell no. No. What's wrong with me? Nothing. I'm very smart. I'm very funny. I'm very caring. I'm a complete loon. I screw up again, and I go back and find a way to learn from it and do something. I mean, why should I be kicking my own ass? Right? Why should I be doing that? Why should you do that? You shouldn't, is the answer. It doesn't help you. You've been conditioned, grooves of the brain, nervous system, emotional system, to believe that it does help you. And if you're thinking, well, but I know better, I don't care what you know better. I care what you feel better. Because how you feel is what dominates your life, not what you think. Nope. Doesn't matter a damn what you think. It matters what you feel. Because when I went out to California, when I was like 44, and I was like, okay, I know some things about the kind of relationship I want, the kind of life I want. Instead, I was so panicked being out there, being alone, being so far from Ohio, having no friends to start with. I fell into a relationship with a guy that was so unhealthy. It doesn't matter what it was or wasn't, but I was in that relationship until he passed away and freed me from it. Because it didn't matter what I thought. What I needed was not to be alone. I needed it like I needed oxygen. And I learned that about myself. That was the lesson. The lesson wasn't something punishing, like don't you ever date men like that guy, or it wasn't that kind of punishing lesson. No, the lessons are lessons that set you freer. Start to understand that this is the feminine. This is what heals you every damn day. Oh, I'm somebody who needs to have real community, real friends around me. That is my base setting. I'd better go home because also I'm broke. I can't live out here in California. So thank God it sent me home because I persevere until I die, and that's not good. You have to persevere, but you also have to give up. You have to have a balance, right? If you can't listen to your emotions, you are not listening to yourself, and there's only 10% of you in the room. The reason I say 10%, you know how they say we only use 10% of our brain? Well, you know what they're referring to? They're referring to the intellect, the masculine part of our brain. Rad, right? Yeah. So I've had to learn not to do that. And I've had to learn to catch myself when I am doing that so that I can go, hold on, okay, time out. Time to go do nothing. Yeah, give the hell up, man. Go have a coffee. Go do something. Come back later. Just stop. It reminds me of the movie Aliens, that wonderful second movie where Ripley's in that car and she's pedal to the metal and she's getting them the hell out of there, and the guy who's the army guy, he's going, ease up, Ripley, ease up. That was me, man. It doesn't work. Oh God, it doesn't work. Your emotional body does not understand this. So don't sit there and crap on yourself. Oh no, I don't know how. Here's what you know how to do. Here's what you know how to do. You know when you're beating yourself up, don't you? And you know that your mind tells you there's good reasons for it. I should do that. That's going to help. Like, you don't even interrupt the pattern. You just sit there and watch it, a victim to your own mind. Right? That's what we do. Can you interrupt the pattern? Okay, Lori, that sounds good. What the hell are you talking about? Can you say, that's a patriarchal loop, that's a pattern? Just noticing. I know we are completely hijacked to go, let me fix it right now. Ho. Just notice it. Okay, there it is again. Well, and there it is again. And there it is again. God damn it, this is exhausting. Never mind, I'm not going to beat up on myself for a minute. Oh, that's good. Okay, that feels a little better. In fact, it feels a lot better. I wonder if that's going to help anything. It will. This is the part that the brain needs to understand. Your energy, which is your emotion, it's your emotional reactions. Your energy is what rolls out the red carpet for a life that you love, or a life that you just put up with, or a life that really sucks. Or it's not your fault. The reason it's not your fault is nobody gave you 90% of the tools you need to build a complete house, which is a great place for you to live right here. Nobody gave you 90% of the tools. How could you possibly build a healthy home? So let yourself off the hook, please. That's what my workshop is called. Off the hook. I wonder if I've ever had a thought of my own. Oh, that's programming. Oh, that's programming. Oh, that. I love that. I love that, C. Ford. I love that. So that sounds circular, but it's, in a way it's not. I wonder if I've ever had a thought of my own. In a way, no, but in another way, yeah, you've always been there. But your voice has been this big. Your own free voice, that thing we talk about, free will, our free will hasn't been free for millennia. I'm sorry. It's not about, oh, I want to buy a chocolate bar. I have the free will. That's not free will. Free will is when you can exercise having some agency in the quality of your own life. And we have been deeply hijacked about this and told that we have no power, that it's some God on another planet, that it's some doctor, it's some school, it's some priest. It's like, we've been told you don't have anything, when in fact you are everything. So our job really is not to have to dig ourselves out of a shit pile that they told us we're under. It's not true. It is instead to bring into the shit pile some air freshener. And the air freshener is like a little bit of mercy, a little bit of kindness, a little bit of a different thought that feels a little better. This is revolution. And I call it revolution because it's how I write it. That's a whole other topic. But anyway, this is what it is. Because when you are convinced, as we all have been, that you have to fix you will never, 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 never win. You will never feel good about your life. You will never, never feel good about you. And that's what the patriarchal castle has been for us for millennia. And we're now in an evolution, and the evolution is, let's keep coming out. Let's keep coming out by going into what's already good, what's already strong. Let me massage a little bit. Well, what do you like about yourself? I don't like anything about myself. Okay, if there's some small thing that you like, well, I like my artwork. Cool. Why do you like your artwork? Well, I think it's beautiful. When I do it, I feel complete and I feel clean in a weird way. But it's great. I love it. Okay, that's awesome. Tell me more. So you want to tell yourself more about that thing, because the more you talk to yourself about that thing, the more you're going to learn, oh my gosh, I just realized I used to do that when I was 5 years old, or I used to do that when I was 10, and it made this happen and that, and oh my God, suddenly you have a different perspective of yourself. And since everything in your life emits from you, now that you've changed you, guess what else is going to change? Your life's going to change. Not overnight. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be as impulsive and impatient as me. It's not, you might have something happen overnight. It could happen. Anything is possible. Anything good is possible. You just don't believe it because you've been trained to believe that anything is possible means something crappy can happen. That's what you've been trained to do. That's what we've all been trained to believe. So be a frickin' rebel and leave yourself 1% of an open door going, it's possible that something good could happen to me because I'm not actually behind the scenes creating tomorrow's agenda. Something great could happen. And then watch something happen and watch for the small stuff. Just watch for the small stuff. Like, wow, I didn't expect to meet that person today. Or, wow, that was a really cool experience. I didn't know that was going to happen for me today. Those are the big things. And you thought, oh, that doesn't matter. It's everything. It's everything. That's the building blocks of the life you want to live. And I'm living it and I'm deepening it as much as I can every single day, because the other way took me to homelessness. Okay, ego hater, lovely to have you. Come back anytime. I'm here 6 days a week. Okay. No, nothing is coincidental. But we tend to hear that as, well, then it's either my good luck or my fault. Again, that's another patriarchal loop. It's not your fault. The minute you go, it's my fault, you're going to go into self-blame and shame, and we call that taking responsibility for something. Now, the feelings of shame and blame, feel them. Understand that if you are going to get out of the patriarchal loops, you're going to have to apply something feminine, and the something feminine is compassion. But it's this much, because we can't handle more than that. We can't take it in. We are so trained to look for the negative that we don't believe in the positive. And so our whole system will kick it out. Like your brain will kick it out and your nervous system will kick it out, and you won't take it in. You'll be like, no, I can't do that. So you can't go from 24/7 beating the snot out of yourself to, I'm going to be so kind to me. That's not going to happen. You do that to yourself, and then you only have one place to go. That's back to your patriarchal tower. There you go. Oh, well, I tried, and I'm a loser, and I couldn't do it. Here's what it takes. It doesn't take a long time. I disagree with that, Anna Marie, but I understand what you're saying very, very well. So from one perspective, it does take a long time, because if you want to really get good at it, that takes time. However, no, girl. You are in the dense class with the dense teacher, so don't do that to yourself. We're all dense. It's not our fault. Do you understand? It's not our fault. The more we keep shooting on ourselves like that, the more we are holding ourselves down. It's what we've been taught to do. So we can't just turn around on a dime and go, I'm going to be fabulous to me today. I'm wonderful. I mean, come on. It doesn't work that way. You can't weigh 500 pounds and go to the gym and go, I'm going to lift 12,000 pounds today and I'll be great tomorrow. I'll be a size 10. That's not going to freaking happen. The patriarchal lessons are do it now, be done now. Because that's some of the stuff you can do when you have billions of dollars. Right? You can do that with billions of dollars to the external, but it still won't make you freaking happy, will it? Nope. That's correct. Whether you're saying good or bad things, you are training your brain. You are training your brain to that thought. And then the patriarchy comes along and says, well, it's because of your issues. It's because of your traumas that you can't feel good. That's bullshit. Your source code is energy. Your traumas are built on energy and on the fact that you are in loops that you have practiced. Well, if you have practiced these loops, as we all do, because that's what we do. Like the human thing is we run patterns. That's what the brain does. That's its job. But when we learn to add a little bit of sugar in with the cake that's been baking for the last however many years you've been alive, that is mindset, Jonathan, absolutely. But it's mindset that is based in what is real, which is your emotion. Your emotion is the closest thing, and your feelings and your senses are your direct phone line to your core, to your source code. Your physical is not, because your physical will fail you, and it'll do all, it'll go all, it can only do so much. You can only go on so many marches. You can only offer so much money. You can only whatever. You can only care for this many people or whatever. But your energy goes so far beyond you. And because we can't see it, maybe there are some people out there who have that kind of vision, but because we can't see it, we don't realize that by just us individually allowing ourselves to have a small break in the self-abuse, that we've just helped heal the world. We've just literally changed where we're standing. We've changed from here to here. I mean, that's a bigger jump, but I have to make sure you guys can see it on the phone I'm on here. But do you know what I mean? You've literally switched where you're standing. Lifted. Yes, thank you, Anna Marie. We've lifted ourselves. Now, the reason that our head now is probably going, yeah, sure, right. Then how come my life is still a shit show? Is because we don't practice it consciously. We don't understand the concept. We don't trust the concept. We haven't experienced it. And so we're like, yeah, it sounds a nice idea. It's another. But meanwhile, I have to go look for a job. Been there, done that. Many, 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 many times. The job that I got is about a year ago, contractor position. crazy, crazy place. For various reasons, but most corporations are pretty crazy. My head just went, no, very crazy. I'm like, you're right. So I went in there to do part-time work, having to do with ISO standards and manufacturing stuff and adhering to national law and stuff like that. And one of the many things that I do is technical writing. So I was doing technical writing stuff and compiling, blah blah blah. And they were paying me $27 an hour, which if you're a contractor through what usually is administrative, that's a lot of money. But I was doing technical writing, quality assurance, project management. Yeah, no. Now I'm working for them as an independent consultant for $60 an hour. Thank you, Dina or Deanna. Okay. That didn't change because I beat my brains out looking for jobs. It happened because one day I went, F it. I just went, I cannot make this work. I'm freaking exhausted. I can't make this work. And I gave up. I don't mean gave up eternally, but I just went, oh God, never mind. 10 minutes later, the phone rang. Hi, it's Adrian at Robert Half. Hey, Adrian, what's up? I got this position for you. They want full time. They want 40 hours. I'm like, I don't want to do 40 anymore. Even though I'm desperate, I'm done. I'm too old for this crap. I don't want to do it anymore. She said, well, would you go for the interview? I went, sure. So I went for the interview and they were like, we love you. And I said, great, but I only want to work 25 hours a week. I have my own business and I work as a consultant. So yeah, I don't know if I guess that's a freelancer. And I went in and they said, yeah, sure. You can do it 25 hours a week. I said, great. Now I'm still doing 25 hours a week from home, exclusively from home, for $60 an hour. Thank you. Do I have to pay my own taxes and all that stuff? Yes. Am I finally secure even if this only lasts for 6 months? Yes. Because it's not just coming from that company. It's coming from me. I understand. And it's not easy. What I'm telling you is not easy to live, but it's the freaking truth. And I am willing to stop suffering. That's a big thing to give up. It's a big thing to give up because we've been taught that if we suffer, we will someday gain. This is deep in our brains and our nervous system. This is really this. We've learned well. We're very good students. And Jonathan, yeah, it's super cool. But I have learned it is not my actions that make my life work well. It is my emotional body. It is how I treat myself. I'm holding my own feet to the fire and finding that my feet are just fine. Anything that is dross is being burned away. And the rest is, oh, Emmy. And it's not like I can jettison everything that I used to live by and then keep sane. That ain't how it works. It's a moment by moment, a day by day. Okay, so I'm sitting here and I'm beating my brains out on this thing and I'm bored out of my mind. And I could either sit here for the remainder of the 3 hours I'm supposed to be sitting here, or I could get the hell up and go get a coffee. I can go down to UDF, or I can go and I can take my computer and I can go to this wonderful coffee shop, or I can say, screw this, I'll do the 3 hours later. Or maybe I'll do it on Fridays when I don't usually work. Or maybe I won't do it at all because now I'm a consultant and consultants don't have to clock in. We just have to do our work damn well, and I do, and I always have. I'm the most responsible, dependable person you'll ever meet. But I had to know that. I have to know that. If I'm busy trying to convince you, that's the degree to which I don't know it. That's what self-confidence looks like. What I'm doing for consulting work right now is senior technical writer, designer, quality assurance, project management. They should be paying me $95 an hour, but who's going to sneeze at 60? Not me. Plus, I love the woman who's my boss. We get along great. Oh, Jonathan, thank you very much. Anna Marie, have a beautiful evening, my darling. Technical writing is, yes, definitely time to celebrate you. Every minute. Love you, girl. Technical writing is, those books that are published? Katie, take it slow, baby. Take it slow, because then you'll be building right. Yeah. Let me know if I can help you, okay? Because I also have a meeting for women on Thursdays, women in business, and it's free. Let me know in the DM if you need to know where that is and what that's happening and all that. So you're more than welcome to join us. Wow. Yeah, definitely want to talk to you because there's something I'm noodling with, and you're a man in 10 businesses. Good Lord. Okay. Let me define technical writing. Technical writing is like, let's say you want to learn how to do Excel, and they used to have the books. Now it's all online, and it's all the technical writing. If you go this and you do this, and then you can do, that's technical writing. That's one face of technical writing. What I'm working on is for a manufacturing company that needs to have all of the documentation online that the people who work in the manufacturing throughout the world, throughout the country, we're starting with the country, can follow to say, here's what you do if you are in this particular thing, and here's who's in charge of it, and here's who's responsible for what. So it's very detailed, and it's hardly exciting, but it's really important for business. So tips guru, I hope that answers your question. You guys, this is a great time to be on the planet. It is also challenging AF. And if you're at all sensitive, you spend some time freaking out a lot, like your nervous system does. So one of the things I know the great saints recommend, and this one's tough for me. This will not work for me, but sometimes I'm waking up in the middle of the night. So maybe now it's going to work for me. Is that if you get up at 3 a.m. and you meditate, the energies, the emotion, the mental energies and emotional energies that are usually very active during the day from all of us being awake and freaking out and doing our thing, most people are sleeping. So you're going to have a better meditation. So if that appeals to you, go for it. Do that. Anyway, how long have we been on here? I have absolutely no idea. With an hour and a half, something like that. I would like you to know that things are starting to pop for me. I spent 20 years trying to start my own businesses, and the problem for me with it was multi-level problem. What's my program? The Goodbye Good Girl Project. And thanks, Dassy. Yeah, I help women especially, and also sensitive men, break with the patriarchal programming from the inside out, so we can make a damn difference. No, I don't do it. I'm not MLM. I'm a solopreneur. And my intention and my plan is to help all of us see what I've seen, which is what we've been governed by from the inside, so that we can depersonalize what we've been blaming ourselves for and actually be in healing every day, be healed every day. I don't mean be perfect every day. I mean be approaching ourselves from a different place, have a sense of fulfillment in some way, a sense of authority of your life without rigidity, allowing yourself joy, allowing yourself to be kind. I mean, it's a whole different quality of life when you live outside of the patriarchy. And when I say live outside of it, that just means that you see where it has left its dregs, but you know how to approach it so that you're no longer on the hook of it. It's a whole different way of living. Paragon, my brother was in Amway and he was absolutely scammed. He took me to one of their meetings and I was horrified because it was a room of hundreds of people who were desperate and not all that savvy, who were being given sort of like emotional uppers. You can be the richest person in the world and you can be financially free. And if you don't do it, I mean, this system works. This system works. And if you can't make it work, it's you, not the system. That is patriarchal loop on steroids. Hey, Quill. It is the Quill herself. Hi, babe. Yeah. If there's anybody who tells you that the system that they're selling you is the one that it works no matter who you are, kick them in the ass and keep running, because there is no one answer for all of us as far as what to do. There isn't. We're all constantly unfolding. We're all at different places in our lives. We're all at different places internally. And what happens is we're all co-creators, absolutely. But you can't co-create if you're busy not being you. The biggest naysayers in my whole life were my mom's sisters, who were radical feminists, though. Well, I'll tell you what, being an anything doesn't mean you'll be anything else. Like, I remember when I first started on the spiritual path and I was at a big spiritual gathering, very high energy, very amazing. And yet I met this guy there who was trying to seduce me. And when I was not complying, he got really mean and nasty and obnoxious to me. And I was absolutely shocked and heartbroken, because it was like, wait, I thought spiritual people were supposed to be loving. Well, we all have the work to do. We may have the vision here, but the work is here. The work is in your body. The work is in your brain. The work is in your emotion. It's in your feeling. You have to be complete. If you want to really go into transmutation of all of this that you've gathered, you have to come inside. And you've been taught to be afraid of it and all the rest of it. But that's why I'm out here, to help you start to take yourself off the hook, so that you can, without terror, start to look at the situations that you've lived in and then say, hey, maybe there's a different way to look at this. Maybe there's a different way for me to have a relationship with myself. Maybe there's a different way to have a relationship with my business, with my work, with my family, but most importantly, with me, with myself. So if you would like to be on a waiting list for the next time I do the Off the Grid workshop, which is using storytelling, it's a small group, it's for women, 15 women maximum, storytelling, acting exercises, improv, in a safe environment, to come out of the shoulds of the brain and into being more emotionally available to yourself, in the company of others doing the same thing, then you can do that by going to goodbye, good girl, goodbye, good girl, and then the .com, and then / you're going to put all of this into one word: off the hook wait list. Off the hook wait list. If you would like to have a free downloadable 26-page book about the breakthrough that I had with the depression and how emotion is so very central and how you can employ that and start to do that for yourself, then you'll want the same beginning part, and the / is reclaim book and the number 20. Reclaim book and the number 20. Reclaim book 20. I went out this afternoon to get myself some supplies, and yes, this stuff was one of them, and this didn't work. If anybody can tell me why, when I tried to use this, when I'm going live on TikTok, TikTok said, you can't go live, nobody will hear you. DM me the magic word or whatever it takes to do this. But I also bought a bunch of other stuff because after a long time of being, yeah, it's a plug and play mic. Yep. And so I plugged it in. I stuck this here, and then I hit go live, and oh, thank you, Shaika. They weigh nothing. And then, oh, it's a pain. Okay, it's not just me. That's really good to know. Because honestly, what a pain in the neck. I couldn't figure it out. It didn't tell me how to. It just said, no one is going to be able to hear you. And so I took it out. Anyway, I had some trouble getting started, but a very kind soul who may or may not still be on here. Oh, yay. Yay, yay. Are you Indian by any chance? I have an Indian name given to me by Amachi, the great hugging saint. And Shaika sounds like that ilk to me. Whatever it is, it's beautiful. I love it. Can you take with you the concept that maybe the reasons that you've been either failing at things or struggling with feeling miserable because it just feels bad inside you could be because you've been hijacked to follow the wrong rules and you've not been given the right tools. You've only been given 10% of the tools that you need to accurately, adequately, and beautifully operate this machine you've been given for a while. Can you take that with you? Is that possible for you to just cogitate? Because these things take time for us to consider, for us to noodle with inside our own beings. And it's the most important thing I could offer you, is that idea. It's a truth. But you've got to overcome the patriarchal programming. Live at 5 with Lori. Yeah, you're an hour and a half late, my darling. My goodness, live at 5 with Lori. That is what I was calling it for a little while. I don't know what to call it. How are you, my sweet? Devin is such an awesome person. Busy, 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 busy. Ah, that's good. Is that good? I hope that's good. I hope it's a good busy, not like a grinding busy. Excellent. I've missed you. I'm glad to see you. Can you take with you this idea? I would like to tell me in the chat what you think. Because if you're having a yes, but I want to hear it because I want to address it before I go. I want to be able to help. I'm really, truly not just here to hear myself talk. I mean, that's part of it. I'm a performer and I'm a sharer and I'm an educator and all that stuff. But can you take with you the concept of all the things that are stopping you are actually rooted in a rule that says you must fail in order to stay in your place? It's really challenging because you are going up against everything you've been programmed to do, believe, think, everything. That's why for me, coming into the vibrational feeling, the actual feeling of the feeling, not the judging of it, not the naming of it, but just the feeling of it, and then letting my mind tell me some stuff about it and letting it unfold by itself, to me, that is the magic answer. It's the magic answer. It's weird AF. It really is. It's not what we've been taught. But what would help us do that more? Maybe I'm being a rebel. I'm actually tearing down the patriarchy by doing that. Every time I do that, I'm taking a brick out of the patriarchy. That's the truth. That's the energetic truth. Every time you dare to question, every time you ask, every time you dare to be a little kinder to yourself, stop looking to the outside to go, did that create my perfect life yet? Because then you're screwing yourself. Then you're just making it take longer. The best thing you can do for yourself when you're doing that, going, well, it's not my perfect life yet, is go, that's the patriarchal castle. I see you. I'm going to understand it's going to take a little while for me to get used to this new way of living. I understand it's going to take a while for me. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. The other thing you can do is, if any of this appeals to you, is to go watch Abraham Hicks on YouTube. Start with the old ones. Look up old videos, Abraham Hicks. Devin, thank you. I'm feeling stunning today. I am. I'm feeling pretty damn stunning today. Thank you for that. And look at the sky. I mean, it's beautiful here today. Good God. How would your life change? This is my question for you. How would your life change if you could actually believe that life was not a problem to be solved? What? How would your life change if you saw your life differently? How could that be? How could you see your life as not problems to be solved? What would that even look like? What would that look like? The only way I know to do that is the way that they've told me not to do it. Not to even, it's not even a thought. Ease up. Be kinder to yourself. Take a break. Play. Take a nap. Watch a movie. Take a walk. Go swimming. And challenge your mind to take a frickin' break. I went swimming, but I was worried the whole time about what I'm going to do with this problem in my business. What did you accomplish? I think what you accomplished was getting wet. I don't think you accomplished much more. I know it makes no sense. Trust me, I know it makes no sense. We don't understand it. But when you get that you are energy first, and that is what is making you either successful or unsuccessful in your life as a whole, not money, as a whole, emotion, relationships, health, money, all of it, then you will understand you've got to put your emotions first. You've got to put how you feel first. You've got to put the quality of your life first. You don't have to be a nut like me. I mean, I apparently came in to challenge myself to do this stuff when I was at my worst, because it was like, I'm going to frickin' prove this to myself beyond the shadow of a doubt. You don't have to do it that way. It just requires the humility to say everything I've been taught may just be wrong. I may need to do something. I may need to make an adjustment here. Because you're not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You're not going to go, well, I'm never going to be strategic again, and I'm never going to be intellectual again. You want to do that. But you do want to bring in, I am going to also listen to my intuition. I am also going to listen to how I feel. I'm also going to rest. I'm also going to make the rest not just me sleeping, but my entire nervous system having a freaking break from this anxiety. Jesus Christ. Enough already. The self-abuse is off the goddamn chain, and we have to stop. And if it's even, and I am not kidding you a little bit at all when I tell you, if it's even for 5 minutes a day that you let yourself off the hook, you have made significant progress in a world that doesn't know that that's even an option. Your vibrational choice, when it is focused and deliberate, you've made a change. It's not about getting rid of the anxiety. It's about responding to the anxiety with care and compassion. That's the truest thing I've probably ever said. Because the anxiety is coming from a patterning that you've learned to practice. And if you go into, well, then I'm gonna make that stop, you've just locked yourself in your patriarchal tower. Because the patriarchy loves for you to fail. It loves the fight. Your healing is in the feminine, not in the toxic masculine. Now, fighting is not always bad. Sometimes we have to fight for things that we want. I get it. And thank God for that energy. But we've been living in it as a steady diet, and that is not healthy. And it doesn't even work. Yeah, you can't shame anxiety into not existing. Where you put your attention, that thing grows. Think about it literally. If all that you are doing is looking at what's wrong with you, and you are never, ever spending time feeling something that's right about you, something. I love my artwork. I think I'm a good writer. I love writing. It makes me feel clean. Clean is the feeling I get when I am like really in alignment with my work. I feel clean inside. I feel inspired and I feel free to be me, and I feel like, this is great. It puts a smile on my face. And the part of me that wants to go, well, so what? I'm teaching it. Because it's the energy that creates my best life and that helps the world. It's my energy. And by the way, I'm allowed to be happy. I didn't have that growing up. I wasn't allowed to be happy. By me. I'm not telling you that everybody or anybody around me said, you're not allowed to be happy. But my mother got sick with cancer when I was 11 and then died when I was 21. So my identity was the sad one, the frightened one, the anxious one. So I'm the only way to heal from that, because I've already done the therapy, years of it. I loved it. It saved my life. It's good stuff, but it never healed me. The healing is, what else am I besides this, along with the sad one? Oh, I'm also the mischievous one. I'm also the intense one. I'm also the creative one. And you know what? The more I lead into that, the more the other just like recedes. So, take this idea with you. You've been hijacked. We all have. All the things you're blaming yourself for, it's the blame itself. It's the blame itself that is the hijack. So when you can ease up on that, even for a few minutes a day, and feel it, you've done the Lord's work. You really have. For yourself and beyond yourself. It's physics and metaphysics. Okie dokie. I'm back tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Friday. I'm back tomorrow at 5. If I get overexcited, I'll start at 4, but I'll be here. Really? Really? No, that's 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in U.S. time. C. Ford, and I am so happy that you've joined us here. Thank you very much. I appreciate the energy you've offered here. It's been really lovely. Thank you, all of you. If you want to know more about what I do, DM me. I'm in the U.S., Leonore. I'm in the United States. Please don't flirt with me. It has absolutely no impact. Come on. Just be a person. That's what this place is for. Okay? Thanks, guys. I love you. I wish you love and Moxie, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon. Moxie is courage.